So I've had the question, how worrying is it, and thanks for coming in first of all, I should say.
Hi.
More polite, Dawson. How worrying is this crippling debt situation for the Chinese banks?
Well, I think it is a worry, it's a concern, but I don't think it should be over-worried about, because I think that the government, Chinese government has been making leaks, over the last few months, particularly over the last few months, about the level of debt there. Some skeptics would say, have they released enough? I think that, that question could still go on, but basically, I think with the level that they've released so far, and the problem area, it's representing maybe only, say, 20% of all NPLs in China, possible bad loans. So, I think it's manageable by the Chinese government. And put it in international context, I mean, even if they raise the level of NPLs in the next 2 or 3 years, you're probably only going to be looking at something like 2 to 3% on an international basis, which is comparable to internationals, and maybe still a bit less. So I think it's still controllable. Yeah.
Okay, manageable, controllable, and leaks. 3 words you just mentioned in that. Again, what the IMF is saying to China is be more vigilant. What we're not seeing is transparency. You mentioned yourself there's a few leaks, it's manageable, but it's not enough, is it?
Probably not enough, no. But I think with the Chinese, the Chinese economy, the government, the way it does things, they are becoming more transparent as we go along, and I think that's just a process that will get better. Yes, the transparency is still not good enough, but that's you could have said that for the last 20 years about China.
So I must ask you about your reaction to Bank of America selling its stake in China Construction Bank, a return of 75% again on their investment. How did you sort of react? What were your initial thoughts on this?
No, my initial thoughts was that each cornerstone investor has to look at its own situation. I mean, obviously, with Bank of America, they do need the capital. They need to raise capital. It's very, it looks it's a no-brainer that they sell down the stake and raise some profit from it. And other American banks or foreign banks have done the same in the past. It doesn't mean to say that Bank of America may not even go in again at some other point or retain this stake that they have for quite some time. But I think they've got to raise some money now.
It's an extraordinary return on the investment, 75% since 2008. Let's look at other banks. Bank of China is your favoured because of the valuation, right?
Yes. Well, I think that it's one that's I mean, it hasn't had a good run, but the thing is the valuation looks compelling. We think that if you strip out the Hong Kong operations from the valuation, the rest of it is valued very cheaply, along with other Chinese banks, but this one particularly so. We think that most of the headwinds for this company are more or less out of the way. So we think that it's got the best potential for a run-up.
On the flip side, China Merchants Bank needs to raise more capital. Your words, not mine.
Yeah, that's right. There are other capital. I mean, there's been talk of more placements, but the thing is, a lot of the banks need to raise more capital, not just to meet the Basel III, but also to able to expand their business within China for particular types of business that they want to do. For instance, like small and medium-sized enterprises, this kind of lending. So I think that for a lot of the mid-tier banks, even though they may have announced they're going to raise capital or they've raised capital recently, they're still going to need to raise more capital in future in order to expand. So the bigger banks, they've got some cushion.